when it comes down to requisition, you need to understand the policy around requisition and what that means. So requisition is when the store, the company allows an associate to get materials that apply to that job position, and when and what times you can requisition items. So not only that, but managers are the only ones that can authorize and approve requisition materials. First off. The second off, as an APA, you have the authority to get associates materials that apply to their job. So when it comes down to the cart pushers and it's wintertime, it's snowing, they need gloves. Some might come in with no coat, hand warmers, feet warmers, gloves, things like that. You have the authority to go talk to management, and management can get them what they need for their job. Now, when it comes down to these companies, they're going to be really cheap about the material. But at the end of the day, as long as they get the materials that they need, that's all that matters. So, another position, unloading crew. When you back there unloading the trucks, it get hot sometimes. You need gloves. You need back braces. For some people, they want back braces. So, like I said, management has the authority to approve of these materials that apply to the job. There's a certain place inside of the store where management puts the barcodes, the tags for whatever requisition materials were authorized. And there is a log for these requisition items, the description, things like that, the dollar amount, and so they keep a log. Where we used to keep the log was in the store manager's office. And it was just open. So what associates would do was they would just go take anything that they wanted off the sales floor, and they would take off the tag, the barcode, and they would just go put it in the box in the store manager's office. Now, the store manager's office was always open, and so therefore that box was always easy accessible. So over time, that box became more filled every day as time went along. Like, there was days where that box was just overfilled with tags, and a lot of it was just bullshit. Things that didn't apply to that person's job. And it doesn't tell you, when we put in the log, it doesn't say who needed what for what position. It just gives the description of the material that is being requisitioned. So as an AP associate, there's things that we might need for our position. Me personally, I need gloves. I got to have gloves. So I would go get me a pair of gloves off of the sales floor. I would take them back to the office. I would hand the barcode, the tag, to the manager, and they would approve of I would requisition is water. After a fucking apprehension of us, tussling with somebody to get them into the office, or running over there, running over here, like, I would requisition water. And there was times where I would requisition Red Bull. You damn right. Because my team know I'll fuck with me some Red Bull. And as a disclaimer, Red Bull is not paying me to say any of this, and I am not being sponsored by Red Bull. But I'm telling you, I requisitioned Red Bull a lot. So when it comes down to requisition, there is a specific designated location where the tags go, and where the log is. Now, over time, like I said, we had an issue with it, but we came to the conclusion that that store manager's office shouldn't be open if nobody's in there. So they started locking it, even if somebody was in the office. We put a lock. We changed the the box for the tags, and we put them in the lock box, and only managers with keys can open that lock. So when it comes down to these requisition items, just understand that people will utilize this if there is not a safe system to prevent us having loss from these requisition items. When it comes to these requisition items, people will abuse them. And this is why I say that as APIs, that we have to do video of these overnight crew, because the overnight crew, they gets it in too. They take jackets, they take whatever they want. Overnight crew don't have to deal with the customers like we do. You know, they get the store to themselves with, you know, very few managers that is watching them through the night. And most of the time they in the office anyway. So when it comes down to the stalker crew, it's wide open for them. They could take anything without anybody seeing anything at any given time, because it's so quiet in there. They know where management is. They know that AP is not there watching the cameras. And a lot of APAs don't review cameras of the overnight associates. But if you did, I promise you would come up on a lot of internals, especially in that back room. During this time in the month of November. I promise you, it's about to go down in that back room. A lot of high theft merchandise is about to come in that back room. So if you did videos in different areas of the back room, including the sales floor during the overnight shift, you will come up on a lot of internals real quick. Understand that all of these requisition items have to be approved by a salaried member of management. But us APAs, we do have the authority to supply cart pushers, unloaders, any position in the store with the materials that they need to do the job. You know what I mean? I used to do this for my cart pushers a lot. Like if they needed gloves, if they needed hand warmers, things like that, I would bring it up to the front end manager and we would get them those materials for them. And so during the summertime, if it's hot, cart pushers, they need water. So we would make sure we had water for them. Now, like I said, the company going to be cheap about it. So it was great value, but it don't matter. It's still water. So we got whatever they needed to do their job. You know what I mean? And so that's what it come down to. So outside of the shoplifting, when we start impacting the workplace in this type of way, it kind of opens up the eyes of everybody around you. And they're like, okay, well, this person's not only catching shoplifters, but now they're applying pressure on the policy and how it's being used and how it's being abused by either associates or the management crew. You feel me? So not a lot of people are going to like you for it, but we're not there to make any friends. We are there to do a job, to enforce the policy, and ensure that everybody is being safe on both sides of the ball, customer and associate wise. You feel me? So, because there's times where I found management tearing open packages of pens and then go set them down on the counter or on their desk. You feel what I'm saying? And didn't even fill out the log, nothing like that. So, you got to be on it. There's so much things to look for. There's so much to do inside of the workplace. I feel like 8 hours is not enough to do all that we need to do in that day's shift. You feel me? I feel like they should give us 10 to 12 hour shifts. A lot of APIs would probably disagree with me, but if somebody like with a strong work ethic, I promise you could get a lot done in 10, 12 hours. You could catch shoplifters, do some video review, watch some internals, do your safety walk. You feel what I'm saying? And then write your report, submit them, things like that. You could get a lot cleaned up in 10 to 12 hours. But with 8 hours, sometimes them shifts go by so fast. So there ain't a lot that we can do, but in 8 hours, there is a lot that can be done. We are the voice for the other associates in the store. So it is our job to make sure that we solve them problems, that whatever they need, that we get for them. You feel what I'm saying? So you want to have an impact. This is one of the ways you make an impact. You know what I'm saying? You be the voice for the people in the store on top of cracking down on the policy. For real. Crack down on the policy. You got to know your shit. And so if you see people abusing the policy, especially when it comes to requisition items, you got to hold people accountable. You feel me? And then bring these issues up to the member of management, and y'all come up with a solution on how to minimize the loss that we are taking just from requisition items. You feel what I'm saying? I want to give a shout out to the Eagle family. Thanks for showing y'all support. Thanks for tapping in. All my APAs out there, happy hunting, have an impact. Stand your ground, watch your surroundings, be alert at all times. It's your boy, Eagle Eye Miller. Till next time, raw and unscripted.